Hi, I'm Gina, and this is Casey's My Hero vlog 3. And this is Casey. Today I want to share a little bit about who Casey was. Casey was the second born. He's my middle child. And pecking order meant nothing in our family. Casey was Casey. Casey was 6 weeks early. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with his heart problem or not. He was never diagnosed at birth like he maybe should have been, or shortly after. Casey was funny. Casey liked his music. You never had to guess if Casey liked you or not, because Casey was pretty direct in what he thought about you. You knew instantly if he liked you or not. Good or bad, excuse me. Seems like every time I videotape, something's going on. Allergies or whatever. So, anyways, Casey loved his music. At times he would listen to it with his headphones on, and sometimes Casey was 19 when he passed away, barely 19. So, as teenagers, most teenagers have music that has swearing, and I caught him swearing, and I said, "Casey, what are you doing?" He said, "Mom, that's in music, and I'm a teenager, so, I'm allowed to listen to that stuff." And I said, "Yeah, but I don't want to listen to the swearing." So, when the swearing came on, he would be rocking out with his headphones on, and he would sing, and all of a sudden he would stop and just mouth the words, and you could just see him, but not say a word, and then continue singing. It was funny as heck. Casey, I forget what grade he was in. He was in physical therapy and occupational therapy all of his school life, and we'd work so hard on fine motor. That's small motors, skills, small writing and all that stuff. He had flipped the bus driver off. Everyone's seen it, and he knew the words to say with that flipping off. So, I get a call from the school, and Casey's kicked off the bus for 5 days. That doesn't mean he doesn't get to go to school for 5 days, mind you. That means I get to drive him 22 miles to school and from school for 5 days. Casey thought he was cool, and all the staff privately cheered Casey on, but not in front of him, because that was a normal thing to do. Excuse me, I need a Kleenex. Sorry. So the staff privately cheered Casey on because that was a normal thing for Casey to do. The staff knew Casey from preschool on up, so they were happy to see Casey do something normal. But he did something normal, so they had to give him consequences, and Casey knew flipping the bus driver off would get him in trouble. And how much trouble, he didn't care. He just, I don't know what happened, but he flipped the bus driver off. And he thought he was cool, and so, yeah, that was Casey. He loved his video games. His brother and sister and I and his dad and everyone around him treated him normal. We didn't treat him delicate, like he had special needs. He had mild cerebral palsy. But we treated him like Casey. Why wouldn't you? Several professionals told me down the road that that's the best thing we could have done for Casey, was to treat him like Casey and not like a delicate flower, because that's what made him feisty. That's what made him who he was. That's what made him as normal as he could be. Casey didn't even know he had special needs until he was a junior in high school. One day he came home and he said, "Mom, I need to talk to you." I said, "What's up, Casey?" He said, "Why didn't you tell me I had cerebral palsy?" And I looked at him and I said, "I didn't know you didn't know." I said, "Who told you this?" And he said, "So-and-so in school. One of my teachers." And he said, "Is it going to make me die?" And I said, "No, you were born with it." He said, "So I'm okay?" And I said, "You're still the same Casey you were 5 minutes ago." He said, "So I'm going to be okay?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I didn't know I had that." I said, "You're still the same Casey you always were." He's like, "So I'm okay?" And I said, "Yep, you're okay." So off he went to his video games. We straightened it out, and life went on as normal. I let him run and play and, fall down. Well, you don't let your kids fall down, but, they fall down and skin their knees like any other kids do. But, hair thing. But, yeah, so we were told that he would never ride a two-wheel bike, and you put the training wheels on the bikes and you let him ride, and you take the one training wheel off and see how it goes. And then took the other training wheel off, and one day he did it. He rode a two-wheel bike. And just like when they start walking, you want to scream and jump up and down, but then you scare the heck out of them and then they fall down, so you don't do that. So as soon as he did it, I was so excited, and first thing I did was call one of his therapists at home and told her, "Guess what he did? Guess what he did?" And she said, "What did he do?" I was like, "He's riding a two-wheel bike right now." I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. Every time he did something that the professionals said he couldn't do was a celebration. And he didn't know he wasn't supposed to do it. We never told him he couldn't. That was the glory of treating Casey as Casey. So, also the glory of having Casey was there was never a dull moment. Casey would tell people off. Whether you liked it or not, he was telling somebody off. I heard in high school he would pick on the biggest guy just because he looked at him funny, and he probably wasn't even looking at him. And usually the kids that grew up with him in a small school were right behind him watching him in case the kid gave him some heat. In case he'd be jabbering at him, I guess. And they had his back, they told me all the time. And usually they seen the kids behind him, and Casey got away with it. So Casey thought he was tough. No one ever told him that he wasn't so tough. He just had a big group of people behind him who had his back. But sometimes people just didn't bother with him. It's like, yeah, just let him alone, Casey Casey loved animals. He loved cats and dogs and puppies and you name it. He was telling me one day out of the blue that sharks could be in freshwater rivers. And I told him, "Casey, you don't know what you're talking about. Sharks in rivers." And then all of a sudden, just recently, I seen on TV that there are sharks that can swim at freshwater rivers. And now he's passed away, so I can't tell him, "Holy heck, Casey, you were right." It's like, how did he know that? Obviously, it's something that he watched on TV. I left him have the remote whenever he wanted it, whenever nobody else wanted to watch TV. So he knew that. I couldn't believe it. Unreal. He loved sharks and watching lizards and all kinds of stuff. He was a cool kid. There's all kinds of Casey stories. We have tons of them that make us crack up laughing. He was a joy to be around. Sometimes you didn't want to be associated with him because he was retracting, flipping somebody off, and you'd have to catch him. It's like, what were you doing? I ain't do nothing. And then there's some kid's parent looking at you like your kid did something, and you're looking at him, and you talk to him in the car like, what did you do to that kid? I ain't do nothing. And you can see that arm retracting. It's like, Casey, I know you did something. And, well, I didn't like the way that he looked at me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Casey, maybe he wasn't even looking at you. Maybe he was looking at something behind you. But Casey was a character. He liked a lot of people. He was sympathetic toward people. He would see somebody in a wheelchair, and he would feel so bad for them, and he would like to help little kids, and he was the coolest person. This is February, as everyone knows. It's Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Month. February 27th is Casey's birthday. I'm not going to say was, because it still is. It will always be Casey's birthday. So, if you see this video, I would like you to light a candle or think about something associated with what I just told you about. Go help with puppies, or go do something with puppies or kitties or whatever. I don't know if I said light a candle, but do something in memory of Casey. You know, write his name on a sidewalk or in the air, or listen to some cool music. You know, he liked old school music. He liked new school music. He was into Disturbed. That group. I play it at the cemetery for him sometimes. So just do something in memory of Casey, and yeah, it would do my heart good. So anyways, I discovered that I can only upload a under 15-minute video on my phone, and so anyways, yeah, I will tell you more about Casey, and the next vlog I'll tell you, I'm not sure what I'll vlog about, but something to do with Casey and how he died, and we need to spread the word about this. Casey died because he was denied a heart transplant because he had special needs. And I'm sure organ transplants are being denied to people with special needs. So everyone, get out there, do what you can to get the word out. Let's make changes because Casey lived. I'm Gina. I'm Casey's mom. This is Casey's My Hero vlog. You guys be safe. Yeah, one of these days I'll come up with a great vlog ending and my rookie days will be over. So have a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever it is when you watch this. And do something to help others on February 27th or anytime because Casey lived. And let's get this going and make changes because Casey lived. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.